Hi, welcome to Simply Current Affairs. Before going into today's editorial analysis, first we will finish the feedback for the yesterday's question. Friends, if you are watching this video series for the first time, then please watch the introductory video given in the playlist to know how to participate in this answer writing program. The initiative is open to all. I'm coming up with an exclusive current affairs and economy program targeting 2026 civil service exams. To know more about this program, you can click the link given in the description. So the best answers, the model answer for the question, and the editorial analysis, content, everything you can download it by clicking the link given in the YouTube description. So simply observe the video and learn. So the question which I gave in the last video is, India's universal immunization program is recognized as a global success story in public health. Elucidate the key factors behind the success. Also examine the necessity for the integration of One Health approach to secure its long-term gains. So how to address this question? See, lead has been given in the question. That is, India's universal immunization program is recognized as a global success story. So you can start your introduction with what is this universal immunization program. You can also mention, see, the success, it's a global success because we were able to eliminate various diseases through this immunization program. So you can highlight some success. You need not explain in detail. We eradicated polio. You can mention about eradication of tetanus. You can mention the eradication of Yaws disease. So some achievements which you can definitely mention after defining this UIP, right? Then the question is, elucidate the key factors behind this success. You are not asked to write the success story. A lot of students, you have simply highlighted the achievement under this heading. The question is not about the achievement. The question is the factors behind the success. So what resulted in this success? Okay, be it our vaccination program, the political will, the campaign, awareness, everything, what all we did that resulted in success, that is what you have to write. And you should also examine the necessity for the One Health approach. So many students, after highlighting the factors behind the success, suddenly you are putting a subheading One Health approach and you are writing some points. See, you have to link factors behind the success is fine. However, today, there is a need for One Health approach. So you have to link it and you have to explain what is One Health approach. It is a transdisciplinary approach where we focus on human beings, plants, animals, and its environment as a whole. So explain what is that One Health approach. Give a link point why One Health approach is necessity today. And you give the points, okay? And some students, you are putting subheading as One Health approach and you are writing generic answers, generic points that we have to address the vaccine hesitancy. Vaccine hesitancy and One Health approach is not directly related. Okay, so this question, start with universal immunization program, highlight some of our achievements, and you have to put a subheading to explain what are the factors which helped us to achieve those feat. Then today, given the challenges, we have to go for a transdisciplinary approach. We have to address the health of all human beings, plant, animals, and the environment health as a whole. That is what is One Health approach. So that is important. Why it is important? You can highlight 75% of the diseases are zoonotic in nature. That means it is originating in animals. So 75% of the disease you can control if you are controlling the disease in the animals only. Like that, you have to link and you have to highlight the necessity for the One Health, right? Then you can give the conclusion. This is the structure of this question, okay? So, I have taken the answer of M. Priyadarshini. You have very good content, but I would like to say one thing. I am following your answers. You are dumping a lot of information. I can tell you by just looking at your answer immediately that you are exceeding the word limit. Don't dump too much. You have very good content. You have very good structure in the answer. So you are able to get that knack, but you are writing in excess. So you have to make it little precise. Apart from that, Your answer is really good. See, the problem is just I will others, you also just have a look at it. See, by looking at the 2 pages only, we can say that you are writing a lot than what is required. So what will happen if you are writing this much, if you are loading with too much of content, then in the actual exam, it will be difficult for you to write all the 20 answers. 15 answers you will write, then there will be a challenge in finishing the paper. And also, if you are dumping this much, maybe for some questions you will have very good content, you will dump a lot. For some questions you will not have content only, then there will be a lot of gaps in your answer. So it should not be like that. All the 20 questions, at least create a perception that all the 20 questions you have given equal importance. That perception is very, very important. That is the presentation. Okay, but anyhow, we will go through your answer. See, you have started with, you have introduced with this universal immunization program. You have highlighted how many, the population which I covered with this immunization program. And you have also highlighted the achievement in reducing the the child mortality. Okay, so again, 3-4 points is not required for introduction. First point, what is UAP? Second point, give the success. Then go to the answer only. Okay, then you have highlighted the factors which are responsible for the success. See, community outreach, the digital innovation, be it the UWIN portal. These are good points. Then the vaccination. India is the vaccination hub for the entire world. But forget about the world. India is the vaccination hub. Okay, that means we are producing a lot of vaccines. Since we are producing a lot of vaccines, that itself ensures adequate supply. Once a Prime Minister in a meeting was mentioning that 60% of the global vaccines given to the global children is coming from India. So manufacturing hub is an advantage. At the same time, here vaccine, my 3 point you need not include. Here we are talking about the factors behind the success of the UIP. Why vaccine, my 3 are giving as example? This example is not relevant at this point. Okay, then disease elimination through integrated campaigns. See, this fourth point and the first point can be connected. Community outreach and campaigns. Okay, you can connect it so that you can save some space. Then, without linking that today we need One Health approach, you are highlighting it as way forward, but you should give some link. You have to give some link. Suddenly you are coming up with a subheading. So that link sentence is missing here. Apart from the TS, zoonotic preparedness, integrated surveillance to combat antimicrobial resistance, cross-sector awareness. Right, all these points are fine. And again, conclusion, India immunization proves health security is national security, fine. Embedding One Health approach will ensure no child left behind. How ensuring One Health will ensure no child left behind? Even after adopting One Health approach, our coverage can be poor, right? There's a possibility, right? Then finally, while reinforcing India's global role under Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, again, just for the sake of bringing Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, you need not force fit the sentence here. It adds no value to this conclusion here. The way forward lies in integration, immunization, inclusiveness. At least that alone will suffice for this answer. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, no child left behind. These are not adding any value to your conclusion anyhow, but out of all the answers written, your answer is relatively better, but there is scope for improvement as well. And you have content. I am going through your answers, previous answers as well. You have content. So slightly we have to make it precise and reduce it. Right friends, so we'll move on to today's editorial analysis. So we have taken an editorial topic from the Indian Express. The topic deals with the United Nations. What are the achievements? What are the shortcomings? This is what the article is discussing all about. We will discuss this topic from our UPSC mains point of view. United Nations was established through a charter which was signed in June 26, 1945. It came into existence. It came into existence on October 24th, 1945. The facts are not important. Just know UN came in 1945. United Nations is an international, intergovernmental, global organization which came to ensure peace, stability, security, growth, development. These are the broader objectives of United Nations. UN has 6 principal organs. One is the UN General Assembly, the second is UN Security Council, the third is UN Economic and Social Council, fourth is UN Trusteeship Council, fifth is International Court of Justice, and sixth one is UN Secretariat. The UN General Assembly, as the name says, it is an assembly of all the UN members. So UN has universal membership. All the 193 countries are members of United Nations. All the 193 countries will be participating in this UN General Assembly. Every country will have equal voting weightage, be it bigger country, smaller country. So everyone will have equal opportunity to raise the voice, to get the international attention. So this is UN General Assembly. They discuss about the global issues and take decisions accordingly. UN Security Council is the most powerful agency of United Nations, which has 5 permanent members including USA, Russia, UK, France and China, and 10 non-permanent members who are selected by the UN General Assembly for a 2-year tenure. So UN Security Council, they will be responsible for ensuring peace and security in the nations by either imposing sanctions or even by using force. UN Economic and Social Council, they will coordinate the member countries' activities to address various economic, social, environmental issues, and also they help in implementing various international treaties. UN Trusteeship Council is inactive right now. It was introduced to help the erstwhile colonies to get independence, but now it is inactive. International Court of Justice will try to settle the legal disputes between the member countries. UN Secretariat is an important wing of United Nations organization, which will carry out the day-to-day activities of United Nations. So you have the UN General Secretary will be playing the role of the Chief Administrative Officer of UN organization. It's been 80 years since the inception of United Nations. What UN has achieved, we will discuss broadly one by one. Number 1 is peace and stability. In these 80 years, UN has sent 70 peacekeeping operations in war-torn areas, in civil war regions. 70 peacekeeping missions has been sent to ensure peace and stability in various war zones. UN, through its various agencies, apart from the 6 broader agencies, we have other agencies as well. For example, World Health Organization, World Food Program, UN Children's Fund, UN High Commissioner for Refugees. Like that, we have many agencies. Through these agencies, United Nations provides humanitarian aid, food aid, medical aid, rehabilitation in the areas affected by war, famine, civil war, etc. So UN helps the people or helps the country to rebuild itself after a crisis. Similarly, health, global health. See, UN with the help of the World Health Organization has helped many countries to eradicate many diseases. Take smallpox. Globally, it has been eradicated with the help of the intervention of UN. Think about reduction of malaria, reduction of polio and all, it is nearly universally eliminated, right? Malaria has been significantly reduced. Think about the awareness of malaria created by the WHO, awareness of HIV, AIDS, all these are because of UN. Growth and development. See, United Nations in the year 2000, they came with a set of goals which is called as Millennium Development Goals. 15 years of time was given to the member countries to achieve those goals. By the end of 2015, the global poverty got reduced by 50%. In the year 2015, United Nations came with another set of goals which is called as Sustainable Development Goals, which aims to, by 2030, which aims to make poverty zero, aims to ensure prosperity for all, also aims to protect the planet. It has many other broader objectives. I am highlighting the most important. So, United Nations helps in development, sustainable development, helps in addressing poverty, helps in providing aid for the people who are affected by crisis, and also human rights. 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights was introduced under the aegis of United Nations. That UN Declaration, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, became the standard for all the countries to ensuring human rights. So, the role of United Nations is really, really significant. However, today we are seeing a lot of shortcomings faced by United Nations. So, what shortcomings? See, the most important objective of United Nations to ensure peace and stability. See, UN was built over the ashes of Second World War. The main idea of bringing UN is to ensure peace and stability. But today, do you think that UN is able to prevent the conflict happening in Gaza? Do you think UN was able to prevent or solve the conflict happening in Ukraine? See, at least in Gaza, Ukraine, different countries are getting directly involved. Think of Sudan. In Sudan, the civilian government was replaced by armed forces. The national army and the paramilitary group. Okay, so a national army's head and a paramilitary force head, they both came together and they replaced the civilian government, and now the national army head and the paramilitary army head both are fighting for powers. Now because of this, agriculture is not happening. Because of this, there's a lot of famine. Millions of people from Sudan, they are trying to migrate to other countries through dangerous means. Lot of people, they are suffering because of lack of food. What UN is able to do in this region? And also, if you take the most powerful UN Security Council, within the council, the permanent members, they are not having 100% cooperation among themselves. US will take one stand, Russia will take one stand, China will take one stand. So without the consensus in UN Security Council, decisions cannot be taken. Again, we are able to see a deadlock in this UNSC. Apart from that, the contributions, UN need money, right? Because if they want to send some forces, peacekeeping forces, or to send some aid, UN need money. United States was the biggest funder, supplier, funding agent for the United Nations, but the USA has significantly reduced their contribution. Europe has significantly reduced the contribution. China has increased the contribution, but China is trying to use United Nations for China's advantage. So, because of the lack of budgetary support, the UN has reduced their overall budget by 15%. They have also laid off 1/5 of the UN's workforce. Right? So, UN is suffering from lack of sufficient money. Apart from that, the bigger countries like US, bigger countries like Russia, they are not taking UN seriously. Right? So, because UN at a point, they are dependent on these bigger countries. So, bigger countries feel they are bigger than United Nations. So, again, the bigger countries, they don't take UN seriously. Okay, what about the smaller countries? African countries, they are feeling left out. Because UN is not able to intervene and solve their problems. So, smaller countries, when UN is not able to deliver whatever they have promised, again, smaller countries feel the presence of UN is irrelevant. There is a gap between the promises and the action. So these are the broader shortcomings which are highlighted when it comes to United Nations today. By looking at the shortcomings, can we say that UN is not relevant today? No, UN is still relevant. See, we understand that there is a legitimacy crisis. We understand whether UN is powerful or not, whether UN is able to control the bigger nations or not. All those are fine, understandable. But do you think that America is a very big country? Do you think America can bring 190 plus country under one roof? Or do you think Russia can do that? See, today we are having bigger problems like climate change. Now, these problems can be addressed only through a global coordination. Other than UN General Assembly, which institution can bring all the countries under one roof? Even if the bigger countries wanted to achieve something, without the support of United Nations, it cannot be achieved. So these shortcomings are true, they are real. What is required is reforms. Particularly, we need to have reforms in UN Security Council, because that is directly responsible for ensuring peace and stability. So UN should take the existing challenges into consideration, reform itself, so that it is able to deliver the actual intended agenda, that is peace, stability, growth, development, prosperity of all, etc. Right friends, I hope you got clarity on the topic what we discussed today. Now, based on our discussion, I will give you a question. The United Nations, established to maintain international peace and security, has lost its relevance in the contemporary geopolitical landscape. Comment. So here you have to give your opinion. So you can say yes, it has lost, or you can say it might appear that it has lost, but still it is relevant. You can have your stand. But the point is, you have to explain, you have to substantiate, you have to give your detailed comment. So I hope you can manage this question. So I will see you tomorrow with another interesting topic. Till then, bye. Take care from Guna Mathivanan.